Hey, drawing mountains is easy. You just have to remember these three simple ideas. Come on, I'm gonna show you. Let's get our mindset of thinking of a mountain. And, you know, if you think of this is a very simple shape. There, that's a pyramid, okay? And if on a mountain, we have like, it's usually like think of how a mountain is made. Think of it, it's two plates in the ground that come up and they crash into each other. And of course, then our mountain is formed, right? So back when you were maybe a little kid, if someone said draw mountains, you would possibly start to draw them like this in the background. Well, that actually is a great place to start. What you might want to do to add interest to this, you might do a new layer in front of those. You see that? So now we are developing this idea of object in front of object, layering, which is a big aspect when we're drawing things with depth. So if you were to take this simple idea that you might run as a kid and then start just connecting some of these peaks, now all of a sudden you have started to create a mountain landscape where you're dealing with a ridgeline and different aspects of these shards of plates that are coming together. So anyways, so if in your approach, if you start thinking of layering this pyramid shape per se, that would be a really great place to get your mindset as you're developing this, okay? So think of layering. All right, there it is. That doesn't look right, but I'm going to go with that. Hey, every mountain is built by rocks. So go down there and if you don't mind, hit subscribe, hit like, but better yet, leave me a comment that's rock solid. Rock solid. Rock solid. Okay, you know what to do. Let's get back to drawing. Number 3 tip is coming right up. Oh boy. All right, so then we have this pyramid shape, and then the last thing I want you to think about, and this is really important when you draw mountains, is tone. Okay, so all things have a dark side and a light side, of course. So if you remember when you're drawing your mountains, if you think of light side, it's going to have a light, and then it's going to have a one value, and this could be, just think of this as like light side and dark side, and then within this value, you break it down to one more darker value, you'd be in business. What do I mean by that? Take our pyramid shape here, and if we add one common value there, all right, so that is an even value. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to look for not much variation. And then if you limit yourself just to maybe one more darker value in this will give you a lot of variation and really try and keep the process simplified. Okay, so think of your light side, and then even on your light side, you might even have this one value that you're matching come up, and even in that, you see what I mean? So essentially, what we're looking for is trying to create a 3D form and simplifying it by using really just two values. Okay, let's look at a picture now. All right, so this is a great mountain to practice this on. All right, so let's start off with a shape. A shape is a great way to start. All right, so I'm just going to come up here. I'm looking at my mountain, coming down. Boom, there's my shape. Okay, now let's think of this pyramid idea. Okay, and this pyramid that's kind of in our mindset as we're coming down. So let's start off with this ridge line. Now, instead of this line being straight, this would be the ridge line, but we're going to kind of more follow the contour of this mountain. So I'm just going to come down here. Okay, so there is that angle right there. You see that? Go ahead and add a tone to this right side. This is going to help us distinguish one side from the other. All right, let's go ahead then and come in here and add another ridge line. Let's find out where maybe this guy comes in like this. Okay. And then further down, you can see here is another ridge line like this. And then this can add some tone to it as well. All right, look, I have a ridge line coming in like this. And then it comes on up like this. You can add some tone to that. Keep thinking of this center, this little part of that pyramid there, this ridge line, okay? So then we're going to come in maybe like this. This one breaks up in there. So you can see how I keep adding more and more detail. There's a ridge line coming in like this. Now into this tone on the shadow side, let's go in and add another. Now look at this up here. I could add a little darker tone up here. So we're dealing here with shape. We're dealing with tone. And the last thing I want to show you is you could deal with surface lines. We use surface lines quite a bit here. So let's show you that. So what are surface lines? Surface lines are lines that are following the surface of my object. And we use them quite a bit when we're drawing. You may not use them as much when you are painting because you're going to use a lot more value. So these are essentially the three tools that we will use to describe form. And you could just keep plugging away and making this, adding more detail to it as you go forward. Let's bring up another mountain to take a look at. Okay, now look at this guy here. This is a little bit different. It's more of a flat peak. So let's start off with our outline. Just looking for shape here. So we're going to start off with outline. So this is not so much as a pyramid, but it's almost like a cube shape. Look at this. You see that? It almost has a cube shape to it. So, okay, let's kind of rough that. Let's follow this ridge line again and kind of rough that in. Okay, let's think about overlap. So this object here is going to be, look at this mass. This mass is over there. You see that? This one over here is coming down like this. And this actually has a cone shape to it. This one overlaps over there. You see that? And then you got a small sliver of one over there. All right, let's add some tone to this. Now on the light side, you could see that there's definitely shadow over here, so we can add some of that. It's just a much smaller scale than what we have on the shadow side. All right, let's come in with a second tone here and try and break some of this up a little bit. Even look at this tree line here. It kind of comes up like this. And then we have a different shape, different volume. All right, then you've got surface lines, so let's kind of work some of those in as well here. All right, so there's two types of mountains that we're dealing with, and you could see that, I could keep adding more and more detail to get more detail out of it, but yeah, so it's basically we're taking the step of looking for outline, looking for overlap, looking for tone, and then adding surface lines to this. And this can apply itself to any shape of mountain. Okay, so once again, same process on this. Let's just focus on the one that's closest to us here. So let's kind of get that ground plane in place. Let's start with an outline. Carefully observe this. Don't rush it. Okay, there's another. And I kind of got one coming in here as well. So I'm going to try and follow the ridge line. I'm going to start right there on this guy here. I'm just going to roughly look for shape and direction. Carefully observing. Once again, let's add a tone to this. Where it's all about edges. Okay, we just about a couple minutes left. All right, I think that's going to do it for today. Observe very carefully. Trust what you see, not what you think. Look for those values. Trying to get an overall value and then go back in and rework those values. Keep your lights separated from your darks. And then lastly, think of your edges. Ask yourself, is it a soft edge? Is it a hard edge? And then start to build that up very methodically. Got to stay focused, okay? Thanks for watching today. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws.
A dad who draws.